Hello everyone, today I am going to make carrot cake, one of the most delicious English desserts. I'm going to show you all the ingredients that you need and take you through the recipe step by step. And then afterwards, you can try and let me know how it goes. Remember, there are subtitles if you want, and you can also speed up the video or slow down the video if I'm talking too slowly or too fast for you. Do remember to hit the subscribe button and like this video if you want to support my channel and help people to grow their English skills. Carrot cake has an interesting history. Carrot cake was invented during World War II because there were food rations. And food rations are when people are only allowed a limited amount of each ingredient. So people didn't have lots of sugar and sweet things to make sweet foods and desserts. So housewives started to use carrots, which are naturally sweet, to make carrot cake. And it was obviously very successful because we still eat it today and it's very popular around the world. But carrots have been being used for a long time actually in cooking desserts. So these ladies were not the first women to start using carrot in cooking. So let me take you through the ingredients first. We're going to need all-purpose flour, or sometimes it's called plain flour, and we're going to need 260 grams of that. Then we need bicarbonate of soda or baking soda. These are the same thing. This will help the cake to rise. We need 2 teaspoons of bicarbonate of soda. A little salt will be necessary for the cake. 1.5 teaspoons of ground cinnamon is also necessary. Then you need a vegetable oil. Something like sunflower oil will work well, or you can use canola oil. I don't have that, so I'm going to use sunflower. And I need 295 mils of this sunflower oil. 295 mils or 295 milliliters, whatever you want to say, milliliters or mils. I'm also going to need granulated sugar. This is white granulated sugar and I need 200 grams of it. So I also need some brown sugar. Now you can just use white, but white and brown is a nice mixture and that's what this recipe suggests. So I've got some brown sugar and I need 195 grams of that. Now I've got 2 brown sugars here. This one's dark and it's very sticky. It's very sticky. This one's not sticky and it's much lighter. To get a nice combination, I'm going to use a mixture of both of these. I also need 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. So this is a liquid that has vanilla flavour. And I need 4 large eggs. Now I've got 5 here because maybe these won't be large, so I'll have to see when I crack them if they're large or if they're medium. If they're not large, I will maybe use 5. Then I need carrots, of course, for a carrot cake. So 300 grams of carrots is good. That should be about 5 carrots, roughly. I also need pecans. Pecans are a kind of nut. Pecans, I need 100 grams of these for the cake. And finally, here I have raisins. So I need 65 grams of raisins for the cake too. Now those are all the ingredients for the base of the cake, but we're also going to do icing. Now for the icing, 225 grams of cream cheese, 140 grams of icing sugar or powdered sugar, that's the same thing, 80 milliliters or 80 mils of double cream, which we're going to whip and turn into whipped cream. This is 150 mils, so I just need half of this. And some more pecans as well for the top, just 50 grams. So that's all of the ingredients. Now let's start to make it. So first of all, I need 2 baking tins that are round and that are 9 inches in diameter. They could be a little smaller or a little bigger, but they should be the same size. They should be the same. It is possible to do the cake and just use one tin, but in this case, we're doing two, so we're going to have one layer and then icing in the middle, and then another layer of cake and then icing. But you don't need to have the icing in the middle, so you can just do one as well. So you need to put a little butter on the bottom and then put some baking paper on top. You can do it nicer than I did it. Mine is a bit messy, but hey, it will be okay. It will be okay. So, step one is to turn on the oven and preheat it to 180 degrees Celsius. So now I need a bowl and I need my weighing scales, and I'm going to weigh my flour. So I've put the bowl on my scales and I've zeroed them. Now I'm going to pour in 260 grams of plain flour. $259, 260. Now I need 2 teaspoons of baking soda or bicarbonate of soda, half a teaspoon of salt. Then I need 1.5 teaspoons of ground cinnamon. Ground means powdered. You can grind coffee, or you can grind herbs and spices. This is ground cinnamon. So 1.5 teaspoons. Now I can just combine all of that together. Okay, so now I need to measure out my 295 mils of vegetable oil. Here's my sunflower oil. Here is my measuring jug. This is 300 mils, so just under that. Okay, so I need this bowl again, so I'm just going to put this flour and everything in there and zero my scale. Now I'm going to measure 200 grams of granulated sugar in here. That is the white granulated sugar. So here we are. And 190 grams of brown sugar. So I'll add 100 grams of this and 90 grams of this other brown sugar. Now 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. And I can pour the oil into the sugar. Time to whisk it together. The muscovado sugar is really thick, so it will take a while to blend it. So you can see it is a little bit more consistent now. There's a better consistency. It's a bit more even. So now it's time to add the eggs. So I'm going to crack my 4 eggs into this bowl. So maybe you can see here, these are quite small eggs, quite small yolks. So I'm going to do a 5th one. So I'm just going to whisk these eggs up lightly. Okay, and now I'm going to add the eggs gradually to the sugar mix. So I'll just add about 1 egg worth at a time. 1 egg's worth means the amount that would be 1 egg, because now it's whisked together, so it's all mixed. So the amount that would be 1 egg, 1 egg's worth. And mix it. So you can see it's a good workout for your arms. The mixture here of egg and sugar. This is what it looks like. Now I'm going to add the dry ingredients, the flour, baking soda, cinnamon, and salt, and I'm going to do that just gradually, so a little bit at a time. And I'm going to switch over to this tool, this utensil, a spatula for mixing this. Okay, so now we can see here we've got a combination of all of it together. The next thing is to add the grated carrots. So let's grate some carrots. Okay, so time to weigh my carrots. Okay, I only need 300 grams. This is 387. Okay, so I need less than I thought. So that's 310, so that will do. Once I've peeled them and taken off the ends, that will be about 300. So first of all, time to peel the carrots. And I'm going to chop off the ends. And now I can grate all of these. So here I have my grater. This part of the grater is good for the carrot. I don't want it really small. This is the right size. So my grater I'm going to use to grate all the carrots now. Carrot is grated. Now I've got to add my 65 grams of raisins. And 100 grams of pecans. And it's important to remember to chop these up small. You don't want to put them in that size. So each pecan you could chop 4 or 5 times. Now I can pour in my carrots, raisins and nuts. Okay, and that is all the hard work done. Now I can put this into the 2 baking tins. Okay, so I'm going to put both of these in the oven for 35 to 45 minutes. And I've got to bake them until they're spongy on top. So they shouldn't be hard, they should be spongy, have a little bounce. I will also move them. I'll put that one at the back and put this one at the front halfway, just to make sure they're cooking the same. So let's wait. Okay, now I'm going to use my electric mixer to beat the cream cheese first of all, 225 grams. Now this is to make the icing, so the thing that will go on top of the cake and in the middle, this really sweet part. You can do it also by hand, without a mixer, by hand, but it's much harder, so I've chosen the easy option because I have one. So if you have one, this is easier, but if you don't, you can also do it by hand, but it's a bit harder work. Okay, so now the cream cheese here is beaten, lightly beaten. Now I'm going to put in the 140 grams of powdered sugar. So I'm going to gradually add it. So not all at once, just gradually put this in. And now for the final part, I'm going to add 80 milliliters of double cream, and I want it to be whipped. So whipped is when the cream becomes full of air. So I'm going to gradually add this. This is 150 mils, so I need to add about half, a bit more than half. So it's time to take out the cake. Let's see how it's doing. So it's a little spongy on top, and if I put this in, this toothpick, it came out clean. It's clean. It's not got cake all over it, so I know that it's ready. Let's not forget the other one. So I just need to let the cakes cool for about 15 minutes. Then I can take them out of the tins, and then once the cakes are completely cool, I can put on the icing and finish the cake. So it's time to take these sponges out. Here is the finished icing. It's really good. Okay, so now I'm going to use my spatula and I'm going to put some of the icing on this bottom section. And voila! And the final thing is to cover this in icing. And the final part is to add some chopped pecans just on the top for decoration. Voila! And that's it done, ready to be eaten. I think I'm quite happy with that. I'm quite happy with the result. If you want to make it even neater, then you can use the baking paper more carefully. So mine is a little bit messy, but it's going to taste good anyway. So let's have a slice. And there we go, that is my slice of carrot cake, ready to be eaten. Okay, this is the final test. It's turned out very well. Wow. You have to do it. You have to make some carrot cake. And let me know how it goes. I would be really happy if some of you guys made carrot cake. That would be the best. And if you do, you have to send me an email. Let me know how it goes. Send me a photo. You can send me a photo in an email, or you can send it to me on Instagram. I'd love to know. If you've enjoyed this video, then please do subscribe to my channel, and also support me on Patreon. And that means that I can make more videos and I can spend more time making videos and teaching English, because I'll be making some money from it, so I'll be able to focus a little bit more on it. So please do if you can. Thanks very much, everyone. See you again soon.